this is Miss Van Human here and welcome to your first video workshop for Term 3 Lesson 1. Today you guys need to do some mental maths, and this mental maths targets prior knowledge that you guys should already know about algebra. So what you need to do is pause this video in a moment and you need to copy out the questions and have a go at answering them to the best of your ability. Once you have finished that, you need to watch the video and correct your answers. So what this question is asking you to do is simplify these algebraic expressions using correct algebraic notation. In algebra, there's a few things that we do so that we have correct algebraic notation. One of those is leaving out the multiplication signs because expressions become far too long. As you can see, question 2 there is quite big. And also we leave out the division signs, and I'll show you how we write them. Another reason we leave out the multiplication signs is because an x looks quite similar to a times. So you'll see here in question 2 how this x here is written with a curvy x, it's not a straight x. It's really important for this unit that you are writing your x's curly so that they don't look like a times. Okay, so for question 1, you should have just simply written 3b, leaving out the multiplication symbol. Question 2, we've got 8 times x times times y. So you should have had 8x to the power of 2 because we've got 2 of them, and then y to the power of 2. Question 3, we've got 4 times g times 6 times g. So we need to multiply our numbers by each other first. 4 times 6 is 24, and then we have g times g, as you know from our first unit, which is g to the power of 2. Next one, question 4, you've got c times b times times a times 5. When we're writing our algebraic expressions, it is best practice for the number to go at the start, followed by all letters in alphabetical order. So you'll notice here that my answer has 5 A, B, C, not C, B, A as in order for the question. Similarly, in question 2, I've got x squared before y squared because it comes first in the alphabet. Question 5, a divided by 5, we write that as a fraction, so a over 5. And lastly, m divided by n is m over n. It doesn't matter if we have a letter divided by a letter. Okay. So most students always say, why are we learning algebra? What does it have to do with anything? Algebra is used almost in all areas of mathematics, and it is used by engineers, architects, applied scientists, economists to solve practical problems daily. Every time you see a formula, algebra is being used. We're now going to extend our knowledge of algebra so that we'll be able to work with more advanced problems. So what we're learning in Year 9, I can't say to you how it is being applied by an architect, but the more complex problems you use from the foundations that we're learning in this topic will help set you up. This topically actually starts at level 8 work and then goes all the way through to Year 10. The reason we're doing that is because it is absolutely critical that you have a really close handle or really good handle on algebra, as it is a key part of methods and specialist maths at Bendigo Senior. Okay, so workshop 1, Introduction to Algebra, as well as our first workshop on substitution. So your learning intention for the lesson today is that we are learning to that doesn't even make sense, sorry. Should we introduce algebra and also substitute values? This is so that you can extend your understanding on algebra to use in more advanced work, and you will be able to solve problems such as this one down here and define key algebraic terms. So that's when you'll know that you've been successful this lesson if you're able to solve that problem with the correct working out. So please make sure you follow the working out of these questions. Okay, so heading in your book, Introduction to Algebra, key part of algebra is knowing the language of it and the key terms. So algebra is the first definition you need to write down, is an area of maths that uses letters and symbols to represent numbers. A pronumeral or a variable is simply a letter that is being used to stand for a number. So whenever we have letters in any of our algebraic expressions or equations, they are there to be a number, so they act like numbers. A coefficient is the number in front of the variable, so the number in front of the letter. A term consists of numbers or pronumerals, and they're combined by multiplication and division. So terms are separated by additions and subtractions. An example of all of these definitions put into a question is 4x plus y over 3. So x and y here are our variables or pronumerals. So they're the words that we use to describe them. 4 is a coefficient, and we have two different terms in this expression. We've got 4x, so 4x is combined by multiplication, so that's one term. And then the second term is y over 3, that's another term. And you'll see that they're separated by an addition there. So please copy all of those definitions and that example clearly labelled into your book. Okay, underneath that you can now write workshop 1 substitution as your heading with the date, and we'll get started on today's workshop. So substitution. In substitution, you need to substitute the number for the variable. Then you need to evaluate the answer. Remember, BODMAS always applies. An example is let A equal 4 for the expression 3a plus 7. So you'll see here that I've colour-coded A equals 4 and where A is in the expression, and we simply just replace 4 with A, remembering our algebraic notation. So here you'll see I've written out the question, keeping in mind that there is a times in between our 3 and 4. Everyone always forgets that. I'm just going to underline that. Plus 7. Using BODMAS, we do the multiplication first. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 7 equals 19. So please copy that example down. Okay, let's have a look at an example. Evaluate the following. I'll just get my pen out. So the first expression is 2x when x equals 3. So that means that 2x is equal to 2 times 3, which equals 6. So please make sure you work down the page, see how I've gone vertically there. Next example is 5a plus 2b when a equals 2 and b equals minus 3. So please pause the video and have a go at setting this out and check your answer. So again, you should have written the expression first. 5a plus 2b is equal to 5 times, remember there's a multiplication between the 5 and the a, 2, plus 2 times minus 3. I'm going to put that minus 3 in brackets so I don't forget about it, equals. Using BODMAS, we do our multiplications first. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 times minus 3. So I've got plus 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Now, when we have a positive and negative next to each other, that, I shouldn't have done that in yellow, sorry, let me go over in red, that replaces 2 and negative. So when we're adding and subtracting positives and negatives, 2 negatives next to each other become a positive, a negative and a positive become a negative, and a negative and a positive also become a negative, and obviously a positive and a positive stays as a positive. So please keep that in mind as well. So then we've got 10 take 6 is equal to 4. Okay, last example is C, 2p, and then in brackets 3q plus q. Alright, so for this one, writing out my expression again, 2p brackets 3q plus q equals 2 times p is equal to 1, open bracket 3 times minus 2 plus minus 2, and then close my brackets. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2, doing our BODMAS first, open my bracket, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus minus 2. Again, I've got here, when I'm adding and subtracting, I have a positive and negative next to each other, so that becomes a negative. Getting back my blue pen. So then I've got 2 in brackets minus 6 take 2 is minus 8. Evaluating this last part, remember there's really a times in between this 2 and this bracket. So then 2 times minus 8 is negative 16, and that's your final answer. Okay, you have now finished your first workshop on substitution, so please make sure you've got all your notes written out and you need to now start the first task on your program. Tomorrow you'll be completing your PAT Math test and you will need to finish this exercise in class on Thursday. Okay, good luck.